Okay, welcome back everyone. You're watching Foreman's Basement. My name is Frank. Today we're talking about cheap guitars. How bad are they really? What if this is all that you can afford? I'm going to be sharing from my own experience. I've actually only played cheap guitars for my entire time that I've played guitar. It's been probably about 5 years now, I'd say. Started in like 2019, and I put it down, I pick it back up. A lot of times I'll switch to harmonica for a few months and not even touch the guitar. Other times I won't touch the harmonica for months, but overall 5 years. Now I'm not a guitar guy, so I don't, when it comes to brands or technicalities, when it comes to what's what on the guitar, I just know the basics, I'm not as knowledgeable as some of the other people out there that know about all the different types of wood and the different types of pickups and the different manufacturing processes that guitars go through. I really don't know much about it. I've always looked for cheap guitars, even when I had name brand. Like I've had a Fender I think it's called a Squire or something like that. It's like the cheaper version of the Fender. I've had a Telecaster that was, I think I paid about $150. It was used, but like it was basically brand new. And that guitar was pretty nice. And then I've also had a couple of Epiphone Les Paul Juniors, which were okay, they were good enough. I love Les Pauls, but I did have some quality control problems with those guitars. I've also had a Chinese Stratocaster, like a Chinese copy of the Stratocaster that was actually really nice. And they've all been cheap guitars. I've never paid more than $200 for a guitar. So I definitely have a little bit of experience in that sense. Now, like I said, I'm not a guitar guy, so I'm not an expert and I can't necessarily tell you everything, but I can tell you how they play and how they feel. In my own experience. Now, this Donner that I just picked up, this is as low as I've ever gone on a guitar. This is $85. So, I mean, when I went to pick this up, I didn't know what to expect. And I've been pleasantly surprised, which is what I'm here to talk about. I went on OfferUp because I haven't had a guitar in about 6 months. So I went on OfferUp and I just typed in electric guitar. I live in San Diego County and I found somebody near me. I messaged the guy just kind of on a whim, like, hey, when could I pick this up? Because I saw that he had this brand new Donner with the tag still on it for $85. Apparently the guy buys pallets of these things or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, surprisingly, he's down to meet up that same night. Like, I texted him at like 6 or something like that, and I met up with him by like 7:30 in some parking lot, and yeah, I took it out of the bag. It came in a little cheap bag, and I looked it over, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. It feels right. Everything is okay. I took it home. Now, it's not perfect. Obviously, for $85, it's made in China. The biggest problem with this guitar was the strings that came with it. The original set of strings were just garbage. They couldn't hold tuning very well, and it made a bad first impression of the guitar because when I first got home and tried to tune it, you would twist the tuning peg and the note would fluctuate wildly on the tuning app. So I was like, oh no, this might be an issue. I might have to get these tuners replaced. But what I did the next day, I ordered some Ernie Ball Slinky, I forget what the name was, but they were Ernie Balls, and it's 48 at the top, all the way down to a 10.5, so a little bit on the thicker side. And I put those on. By the way, side note, that was the first time in my life that I've ever been able to put my own strings on a guitar. Normally I have my dad do it or someone from the jams. I go to the blues jams in town, and so any of those guys can help me, but I've never been able to do it before up until this time that I finally did it, and I'm very proud of myself. But the whole point of that was, the point that I was getting to, the tuning stability increased significantly after I put the thicker strings on there, to the point that the tuning is not a problem anymore. Now the tuners work the way that they should. They're not great, but it holds the tune, you can tune it, and so that's great. So that was the biggest problem right off the bat, and I fixed it just by putting new strings on. Now, it looks decent, it looks very nice. I'm not going to try to zoom in on the camera because I've had so much trouble today trying to set up the camera angle for this video, so hopefully you can just take a look at it, but I'm not going to be doing close-ups or anything like that. But like I said, this is very comparable to an Epiphone. I've had 2 Epiphone Les Pauls, and they were both the junior style, and it's really nice. I mean, there's probably the worst parts are the neck right here. There's a joint where they joined 2 pieces of wood together. When I got home and first put my hand on that, that didn't feel very good. In fact, I thought there was something wrong with it. For a second, I thought it had been snapped and someone glued it back together, but then I looked at it under the light and I could see that it's like a perfect cut, and they're two separate pieces of wood that have been conjoined somehow. Again, I don't know how they do it. I looked it up, and apparently some guitars are made that way. I thought it was just because it was a cheap Donner Chinese guitar, but apparently some guitars do have that sort of that joint up here. Now, on this one, it doesn't feel great. They could have sanded it down a little bit more, I'm not going to lie. But it's not a problem. I mean, it kind of is a problem. If it bothers you, if you're OCD, you definitely feel it when you're up around here and you put your thumb on the back. It's just not, it's not perfectly flush. It's not exactly sanded down all the way. So it's a little iffy, but it doesn't bother me. I can still play it. Now, another thing, the fretboard itself is very dry. It's like ashy. And I had some of that Dunlop guitar fretboard oil that I should have used when I was changing the strings, but I didn't. I just didn't even think to look for it and just wanted to put the new strings on right away. So I didn't do it, but that's something that you could do. Is if you have any fretboard oil and you get one of these, you're going to notice for this particular one anyway, I found that the fretboard is incredibly dry. Now, I'm not sure how that affects playability or tone for that matter. I couldn't tell you, but it definitely is very dry, noticeably dry. Now, the frets are good. No sharp frets here, go up and down. I've had Epiphones that had much worse frets. The first Epiphone that I had, the first Epiphone Les Paul Jr. was a TV yellow one. And the frets on that thing were so, I wonder what kind of metal they were made out of, because if you just press down too hard, your string would leave an indentation on the fret. So I've always just remembered that from that guitar. What a nightmare. That's not the case here, thankfully. These frets are fine. They're a little, they could be polished. They could be like sanded down. Like it, you can still bend perfectly fine. It feels fine to bend, but you can tell that they could be a little bit smoother. So I don't know how that's done. You could probably do that at home if you just look up a YouTube video. I haven't looked into it yet, but yeah, otherwise I've been pretty happy with it. It's got these two, I don't know, they're not humbuckers. They're like, I don't know. They're the double wound pickups, I think. Don't quote me on that. And these knobs here are very nice, actually. They're better than the Epiphone, the first Epiphone that I had. And actually, these are like the same exact type. I've had like 4 Les Pauls, and this is the exact type of knob on my Chinese model one. And they're very buttery smooth. Like, they're nice. I'm telling you, they're better than the Epiphone ones for sure. And you got volume, tone control, your pickup switch selection. And yeah, I don't know if I showed the back already. It's got this metal plate thing here and these things here. Anyway, let's do a little bit of fucking around here. We've talked enough. Let's hear it. Now, I recently broke the only good amplifier that I had. My favorite amplifier was a Laney Practice amp. Believe it or not, I know that's going to be ridiculous to some people, but it's true. I love that amp. It was a little battery-powered practice amp, and it just had a wicked tone. After many years of faithful service, I dropped it the other day, and the whole thing just shattered. And like the speaker part that was anyway, it's done for. So, and I have a Cube also, but lately it's been making kind of a fuzzy noise. Like it's not. There's something wrong with it. And then I also have the Fender Frontman, which my father bought when we moved to this country in like 2003. Like, I'm pretty sure I remember the day that he brought that home. And that thing is rusty, crusty, and the Frontman 15G does not have the best reviews. That being said, I think it's an okay amp, but for this video, we're using the Black Star, and I might bust out the Fender in a little bit. I'm not sure what model of Black Star this is. I think it was either my brother's or my dad's, and they just left it here, so that's what I've been using. You know, I recently played a Marshall amp, and I gotta get me one of those. play slide guitar, so I play with either a glass vial or a piece of metal tubing, like a piece of brass tubing, and you just scrape the bottle or the piece of tubing along the strings to create a noise. I'm not much of a fretter. I really can't fret very well. Here, I was trying to learn this Led Zeppelin riff. You guys remember this one? With a purple umbrella and a 50-cent hat. Loving, she's just a woman living, loving, she's just a woman. I'm only paying your bill. Like I said, I can't fret. It's just not. I just can't. You can see how awkward that is for me. So I play everything on a slide, but I just wanted to show that, just to show that you can fret on it. Thankfully, as a slide player, I never actually use the fretboard. The strings never actually make contact with the frets when you're playing slide, so it's not a problem for me, but I can still completely bar. So for those of you who do use the fretboard, don't let that, Led Zeppelin there for you guys. I've been getting back into Led Zeppelin lately. I used to listen to them a ton in high school, and then I just stopped for years. And now that I'm getting heavy back into the blues, well, not back into, but now that I'm getting heavy into the blues, I go back to Led Zeppelin, and all of a sudden, like the other day, I was just fucking around. I didn't even want to learn that song. Or I mean, I did, but I was just fucking around. And it just followed the blues chord progression. Not a traditional one, but it still went from the A, then to the D. Come on, baby, on a roundabout, right on a merry-go-round. And I'm sure that the rhythm is off. I like to play things the best approximation that I can. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this thing sounds pretty damn good to me. I know you guys know this one. I've been waiting so long to be where I'm going, in the sunshine of your love. Yeah, all you're gonna get out of me is classic blues riffs and rock. That's all I got in me. One day I'm gonna have to sit down and actually learn how to play this fucking instrument. The only reason I play is because I fell in love with the slide. I love that. Where's my? I like this one better. I just love that you can take that note in your finger and take it anywhere you want. yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. I really like this guitar. I think the general consensus seems to be that back in the day, you really couldn't get a cheap guitar. If you look in the comments sections of, I've been watching a lot of cheap guitar videos just to get everyone else's opinion on them. And I've seen more than one person say, like, back in the day, you could spend something like $200 and it still wouldn't play good. You know, you had to, like, really buy the name brand stuff. And I guess we live in a world now where you can get an $85 guitar that actually plays. And I think the beauty of me not being, like, a professional, like I said, I'm still learning how to play the guitar. So it's nice that other people can see what a regular person can do with the guitar, because you see some of these videos and, you know, some of them are sponsored by companies like Donner that give people cheap guitars for free, or maybe they even pay them to review it. And a lot of these guys are like, they're shredders, you know, like they're real guitar players. They know what they're doing. They can fuck shit up on the guitar. So, you know, it's like, I'm sure if we gave Eric Clapton this guitar, I'm sure he could make it sing too, but how's the average person gonna fare? And I think pretty well, honestly. I also tried it in standard tuning as well, and it was pretty nice. I mean, again, I'm not doing anything technically advanced on the instrument. It's really just for fun, but I don't know. I like to tell myself that you don't really need an expensive instrument. And it's true. Like I said, I've never spent any guitar that I've had. I've never spent more than $200 on it. This was just $85. I saw a video where a guy paid $168 for this same guitar like 2 years ago. So I got the same guitar for half of that, except his came with an amplifier and a cable and a tuner. You know, you guys know how it is. They have those sort of beginner setups, but you know, I was about to go for that high note and my throat is not having it today. You know you shook me. You shook me all that long. You really, really did, babe. Yeah, like I said, I'm getting back into that Led Zeppelin shit, you know? Stuff's fun. I love doing shuffles. You know, that's what you'll see me doing most of the time. You know, like I said, I'm really a one-trick pony. When it comes to music, it's all blues. It's all blues based in rock. And the further back I go from blues back into the rock that I used to listen to as a kid, the more I see the blues influence in the music. To the point where, like I was just saying earlier, sometimes I'm like, is the next chord gonna be a 4? Yep. And it's no surprise. I mean, just the other day, I was some radio song came into my head, like pop music, and it ended up. I was singing it and I was trying to play to it. I forget what song it was. I don't remember, but it ended up falling into the 1-4-5. Doesn't always go 1-4-5, but you have those 3 chords in there, and you know they shuffle them around or they do whatever, and it's always very interesting. What's her name? Who's that girl who did All I Want to Do? Oh, Sheryl Crow. Yeah. That song, I never thought about it until sitting down and jamming on it, is kind of a blues in E. I mean, not exactly, but you know. How does that go? All I want to do is have some fun. Send the man next to me. Yeah, and you know, you hear that, or I mean, at least I did back in the day. You'd hear something like Sheryl Crow, and I'm not ashamed to admit I like that song, by the way. That's a very good song, All I Want to Do. There's actually slide guitar in there if you listen closely. My mind just went blank. I forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, anyway, but so blues makes up a lot of not just pop, but rock, metal. You can kind of, you know, you go to like Black Sabbath even. The first couple Black Sabbath albums, I like to call it doom blues, because it's like sludgy hard rock, but if you look at the progressions, they're very much based in blues, you know, and the pentatonic scales and all that stuff. They'll add a couple of other things. maybe like some Middle Eastern scale or Arabian scale. I don't know what you call it. That one Black Sabbath song has a little bit of that going on. Kind of goes like this. I think it's called Electric Funeral. Yeah. Anyway, guys, just wanted to talk about this guitar. I don't think... It's definitely cool. It's very cool to have a nice, like, fancy guitar. But I don't think it's entirely necessary, especially if you're like me, where you're not really at that professional level. You're just kind of messing around, and you still have a lot to learn, because I still got a lot to learn. Something like this will hold me over. You know, I really was expecting to take this home and have a lot of problems with it, but to be honest, I'm going to hang on to it. We're going to play it, and sorry, I'm so OCD about smudging. This thing smudges so easily. Belmont tone, my baby caught that train and gone. Bell has tone, my baby caught that train and gone. It's all my fault, I must have done somebody wrong. Everything that's happened, you know I am to blame. Everything that's happened, no, I am to blame. I'm gonna find myself a doctor, perhaps my luck will change. I love slide. Slide is the best, dude. I love playing slide. Sometimes I think I might not even ever learn regular guitar. I'll just keep playing slide the rest of my life. Down by the river, late in the evening, watching the sun go down. Breeze blowing, the night time's calling. I see the lights of town. Electrical beam, I've been for all time. Take it to me. Fuck. Fucking god damn it. Sorry, I apologize. I apologize. That's what I was trying to do. Oh man, that's a fun one. I apologize. My tone has suffered a lot in the 6 months that I wasn't playing. I gotta tell you guys, I sat around for 2 or 3 days just training my hand to jump from spot to spot, like you know, just going back and forth anywhere on the neck. I used to have it like built into my brain. I would just think, and it would be like cha. And now I gotta like learn that karate chop again, because I can't chop like I used to, man. It makes me really sad actually that I haven't played in that long, because I really did lose a lot of skill and my tone suffered from it. But I'm still pretty happy with it. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing. Sorry. let's do a clean tone here. That's it. This video was done 10 minutes ago. I like it. I like this guitar. It's good. I'm happy to be playing again. My baby's gone. She run around with someone else. My baby's gone. She run around with someone else. She won't come back. I just can't help myself. What else we got? Oh, trippy. Okay, not great, but that's on me for not practicing the last 6 months. I'm so frustrated in my own ability. That's the only thing that's kind of bugging me, but otherwise, man. It's been good for my mental health too, I'd say. I really miss getting like violently stoned, you know, like just ripping a fucking hash bowl or just, you know, or a flower bowl, just ripping the whole thing in 2 or 3 hits, getting stoned to the gills, getting so stoned that my heart starts racing a little bit and I'm like, oh no. And then you just sit your ass down, turn on the amp, and have some fun. And that's where my best ideas come from, I think. And a little bit of beer, you know, just kind of sitting around. I just missed it, you know. I just missed getting home, smoking, and just playing, you know. You get lost in it. You start to experiment in strange ways. Maybe that's why I never make progress. You help me with my mind. And I feel so lonesome. You have me weeping, Mom. Who's been driving my airplane for you since I've been gone? I said, flash your lights on. This horn won't even blow. Somebody's been running my batteries down on this machine. I said, flash your lights on it. Oh. This horn won't even blow. down below. Now you know the coils ain't even buzzing. Little generator won't get that spark. The motor's in a bad condition, you gotta have these batteries charged, but I'm crying, please. Please, 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 let us be friends. And when you hear me out on the pathway right on, please open the door and let me in. That was a little better. I'm gonna take my seat right way back. Shall watch the train roll down the track. I'm gonna bring it on home to you. Watch out, watch out. Let's go back to the crunch. A little bit of crunch action going here. Oh yeah. Oh baby. It's getting it done. The last close to tired eyes. Soon be with you, my love. Give you my dark surprise. Be with you, darling, soon. I'll be with you when the stars start falling. I've been waiting so long. So obviously we got a lot of practicing to do. Yeah, maybe I'll take this to the... I think I'm going to take this to the Blues Jam. Maybe tonight or maybe later on this week. I don't know. You know, I haven't played guitar on stage in a long time, actually. Even longer than I haven't been playing slide. So, might actually be fun to take this out. Well, we're getting all kinds of light fluctuations in here. I apologize for that. I don't control the weather, you know. I got a gal, lives out on that hill. I got a gal, lives out on that hill. Says she gonna love me, but I don't believe she will. Trying to think if I have anything else to say or if I've just been fucking around for the last half of this video. Yeah, we're done, guys. I got nothing else. It's a nice guitar. If you're looking for a cheap guitar, get it. Don't be scared. Remember that the blues greats, you know, the great blues players of our time here in the States, a lot of them played with, you know, guitars that you order from a catalog, you know, Sears guitars that were a piece of crap even back then, and they sounded incredible. So don't ever let your equipment stop you. I mean, of course, to an extent, right? I mean, I can't say that all of these are good guitars. I could very well be wrong. You could go out and get this same guitar and maybe the quality control just isn't the same, you know? It really depends. But for $85, you could I mean, it's probably worth, you know, for me, I'm at a point in my life that I don't even have 150 for an Epiphone. It was a spur of the moment thing. I happened to have the $85 just burning a hole, like, you know, the one time I have extra money. And I said, man, I've gone without guitar for too long. And honestly, this is good. This for me, this is good enough. You know, it's a Les Paul style. It might not be a real Les Paul, but as far as playing, it plays fine, you know? One more to go out on. How does that one go again? It's that Muddy Waters song. Can't be satisfied. I'm just trying to think of how the lyrics go. I can't remember. Well, now all in my sleep, I could hear my doorbell ring. Look for my baby, I couldn't see not a goddamn thing, and I was troubled. I'll be all word and mind. Well, I just can't be satisfied, and I just can't keep from crying. Well, now I feel like snapping a pistol in your face. I wanna let some graveyard load be your hiding place. Yeah, 'cause I'm troubled. I'll be all word and mind. Well, I just can't be satisfied, and I just can't keep from crying. I don't think I played anything worth a damn this whole video, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how this guitar functions. Basically, it's a functioning guitar. It's not great, but for a beginner, I think it's decent. Or, I mean, sorry, not for a beginner. I just think if that's all that you can afford, give it a shot. It might not be that bad, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time.